the wheel, spin the wheel. When we get Eidolon of rhetoric. A lot of people, when they first see something like this, they look at it and just go, oh, it stops storm, but it also stops the ramp decks. Like, if you want to rampant growth in a turn, you can't then go back and try to ramp again in the same turn. You also can't play out a dork and then a finisher, or a finisher and then a dork. You only can, you can't always make use of all of that mana at one time. When you have a deck with a really high curve, a lot of times there's like 10-1 drops, 8-2 drops, and 6-3 drops, 4 drops, and one big huge drop. But when they're at that mana, when they're at with all of this mana, they a lot of times will have the one removal spell that'll only cost 2 mana maybe, or 1 mana or something. Then they'll go to use it, they'll have 4 mana remaining, so it kind of wastes some people's turns. It deprives them of the ability to use their untap step. I'm totally gonna call this deck Stacks and Tax. Yeah, that seems just about right. And I will go ahead and start the timer. Alright, probably gonna go for a bunch of snow plains. Just because we want Astrolabe, because we can play Astrolabe. And because we want Core Skyfisher. Oh, no, wait, that's right. Astrolabe itself is a card. There we go. 1 Arkham's Astrolabe. And we'll just go up to 38 Snow Plains. That seems fine for now. I'm not sure what to go grab. I think I'm just going to go ahead and grab a bunch of the staples. Just Journey to Nowhere. And probably... Yeah, I'm probably just going to go ahead and I'm going to grab all of the land cards. A bunch of land cards that we are going to need. Just because getting them out of the way early might be nice. Decided to get as much use as I can out of our monocolor mana base, and add a bunch of utility lands, a bunch of lands that thin our deck by removing as many lands as possible, so we don't flood out too much. We're probably not going to be one of those decks that wants a ton of mana. Like we don't have a mana sink as our commander. We might actually need some mana sinks to make sure that we can get use out of our untap step, unlike our opponents. Because essentially what this is doing is preventing people from entirely using their untap step a lot of the time. We'll just go ahead and chuck a lot of these things out. Okay, and we're back down to 38 lands. Alright, so we're gonna need probably a bunch of mana sinks. Unfortunately, I don't know how to look up the word mana sink on Scryfall and have it actually work. I'm just going to go down this list, check a bunch of creatures in my colors. Whispermire. If I'm playing a bunch of enchantments, this might screw me over. Or it might not. It might or might not. Ooh, cards with Kicker might actually be a good idea. Because having the ability to use all of our mana on one spell does seem pretty good. 4/4 with First Strike doesn't seem that bad later in the game. I'll take the Lancer. I'm probably just going to go ahead and, because I don't know where I need to go, I'm probably just going to grab a bunch of mana rocks. I always got to stop and grab Graveyard Hate whenever I see it. You're always going to want at least one piece. Alright, now I'm going to clean this up a bit. I think I grabbed maybe a few too many. Alright, we have enough pieces of ramp in our deck. Now we just need to fill in the remaining 38 cards. If your opponents and you are on a stalled board state, you don't have a lot of great cards at hand, nobody has a lot of great options, and you and your opponents are looking at each other and you have the bigger creature, you can just start swinging in. Just start going for it. So I am going to gladly grab a bunch of cards that are just huge and good for us. Blightcicle is a favorite of mine and a must-have if you've seen me play Pauper, Maverick. Love Blightcicle. And then we'll just go back, clean up, see what we took. We took a lot of these artifacts, Dark Steel. Oh, Distiller's Capsule. You know what? We should grab a lot of the destroy target artifact or enchantment cards. Part of White's ability to gain advantage is our ability to hate on artifacts and enchantments. I'll take Ray of Distortion. It's an instant and a 2-for-1. One way that we can get around this asymmetrical and make this our commander's ability asymmetrical is to just play instants. We can grab Fountain of Ichor, which is better than the Guardian Idol that we have in the deck already. And there is this kind of there's a very big difference between a Fountain of Ichor like becoming a 3/3 and Guardian Idol becoming a 2/2. There's like this weird kind of magnitude of them where like the difference between the 2/2 and the 3/3 is not just one. It is in Pauper it's like so much bigger and it's so much harder to deal with and becomes so much more of a threat. You know, I will take this Glinthawk Idol. There's probably better creatures. I'm gonna look up not an artifact, White, Pauper. Probably gonna want to grab some creatures. Yeah, actually, we might want Shadow. Extort is probably a great mechanic for this. It's a mana sink, and we get a little bit of extra value out of each of our cards. Taking Beloved Princess seems fine. Oh, Blinding Soul Eater. Right, I'll take one Blinding Soul Eater. Yeah, we don't have any recursion, so the Custody Squire might be good. Oh, hey, we can access Defensing Ace. Oh, that's Defensing Ace, double strike creature in a equipment deck. Yeah, seems completely fine. You know, we actually do have enough sources probably to support this one Pathfinder. So I'll take the Pathfinder. Oh, you know what? I forgot about the Monarchy. We can have the Monarchy. That is one thing that we can have, and a lot of times we probably can't support it. Oh yeah, Citra Priest. I think Citra Priest might be an acceptable addition to this deck, but we're already hating on their Flicker shenanigans. But I might want to keep with the Hate Bear theme that I already have going. We've grabbed a ton of cards. We're probably at like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. I thought we were over like 110. Now we just need to cut down on a lot of the stuff that we have. There's plenty of cards here that do great, awesome things. It's just that a lot of these cards are a little bit redundant. You know, I'm willing to remove Beloved Princess. We already have Sacred Cat and a lot of creatures with lifelink. I'm also willing to cut a few lands here. 38 does seem like a lot. I'll cut Basilica Guards. The thing about the Basilica Guards is they can't really block super effectively, even though they have 4 toughness. A lot of times when your opponent's getting in, they're getting in with a ton of creatures or one really big creature, and in both cases it doesn't do too much. You know, I will remove Crusher. I think we're at the right amount of equipment. We're at the right amount of creatures, and we are at 9 minutes. I think we did pretty good. I feel pretty good about that. 50 minutes to make a commander deck? Sure. Seems fine. I like what I have here. I think this is a pretty decent deck full of good equipment, good stuff. And maybe we want to make room for Ephemerate. I don't think we really care too much about Ephemerate. It might be good for some creatures. It depends how many cards that we have that we really want to like Ephemerate. Maybe Glinthawk. For sure, Core Skyfisher, and a Thraben Inspector too. Palace Sentinels is a maybe sometimes if we want to take back the Monarchy, like really bad, and we can't attack into them to get it. Custody Squire, yeah, we would. That's not that many good targets. Plus, we're not, planning to, we wouldn't be able to, like, cast a spell after it. So we wouldn't really get a ton of value from it. We would just get the ETB again. And then we wouldn't be able to cast spells for the rest of the turn. I don't think it's losing our 1 spell per turn. I do kind of regret not finding more instants. I do have a few seconds left. I guess I can check. All right. I added a couple of cards. I think I have time to cut and go down a few. See what fits where. I'm gonna cut the Mana Tithe. It's a cute idea. Most of the time, you can probably catch somebody off guard, but it's not probably the greatest thing in the world. We're expecting our opponents to have a lot of leftover mana and not carve out properly. So that's maybe. Recruit the Worthy is an option just to make a bunch of 1/1s over time. Don't know how great that is, though. Seer's Lantern scries for us, fixes our draws. I'm wondering if there's anything worth cutting over this stuff. I'm willing to cut Viridian Longbow over this just to go the Banishing Blade. Just so that way I can fight other people's Ulamog's Crushers and other big, nasty, annoying stuff. I will check out this Dispeller's Capsule. After all, and I have to cut a couple more cards. Oh, cut Recruit the Worthy. Move to maybe. Oh god, one more card. Come on. Alright, I know what I'll cut. And here it is. Yeah. Okay, I don't know what I'm gonna cut. So I'm just gonna not include the Celestial Flare. Alright. Now we're done. That is everything. That is the deck. We got a few more instants in there at the last moment. and I feel that this is plenty fine. The mana base is meant to reduce the number of lands in our deck down to a minimum, and as well as taking advantage of our lands and being able to use some of our mana on our opponent's end steps before our turn, so that way we can still do stuff, even though we only can cast one spell per turn. And we do have a nice curve out here. It may look like we're a little creature light, but we do have a bunch of equipments which are adding toughness and power on board, and we do have some living artifacts like Flare Husk is in here, wherever Flare Husk is. Flare Husk. And we do have the Glinthawk Idol. So we actually do have a few more creatures in here than it looks. And our creatures are probably going to be outclassing our opponent's creatures a lot of the time, or getting us some Mui, what is it? No, something grande value. They're going to give us a ton of value. Sacred Cat especially, as good edict protection, and plus the huge amount of lifelink is not half bad. Aegis Automaton for protection. Oh yeah, we got all the stuff. We got all the stuff we need. All right, and that was Wednesday's episode, Commander Power Hour. Thank you for watching, and if you like what you saw, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you'd like to see next time. Don't forget to check out my Discord, where you can find a lot of discussion on jank and whatnot. Also in the link down below, along with my Patreon. Now, don't forget to go outside, get some sunlight, crack some clues, meddle with some mages, and name some spells. Coming in for that face touch.